is up, guys? EJ here, back with another video, and today it's going to be my DVD update for April 23rd, 2013. So I've got 10 new movies to show you, all from the 80s, sort of the mid to late 80s movies I've grown up on. A lot of them I haven't seen in a long time. Sort of bits and pieces, some sequels and so on. And for this update, I'm wearing my Goonies Forever t-shirt, just so you know. So let's get started. Up first, we have Cobra from 1986, directed by George P. Cosmatos, who also directed Rambo First Blood Part 2, of course starring Sylvester Stallone. This film, he stars as a LA lieutenant, Marion Cobretti, taking on serial killers, a very ruthless gang in Los Angeles, trying to protect Bridget Nielsen, who was a witness to one of these killings. It's an okay film. It's not one of Stallone's best, but I've seen it plenty of times on TV over the years. Yeah, pretty brutal from what I remember. The main serial killer guy, he's a very noticeable actor. Appeared in lots of action films. I don't know his name. He had like a crazy looking knife, sort of serrated blade and curved. I remember that from this film. And I remember at the beginning when he there's a hostage situation at a grocery store, and Stallone just sort of comes in blasting away. That's a cool scene at the beginning. And he drives a badass car in this film. I remember that much. Sort of a I don't know what it's called, but sort of it looks like a truck almost. No, I'm thinking of something else, but he's got a badass car in this film. So that's Cobra. Okay, up next, a film I haven't seen forever, and that's Crocodile Dundee II from 1988, starring Paul Hogan and Linda Kozlowski. A film me and my sister used to watch a lot back in England, and I haven't seen it probably since then, but I love this almost as much as the first one. I love the original Crocodile Dundee II. The only things I really remember from this film is they're taking on drug dealers in this movie. And at the beginning there's a journalist who witnesses a murder. I believe he's a friend of Linda Kozlowski's character, and the drug dealer's henchmen go to his hotel and kill him. And I remember him sitting down in the lobby, and all you hear is the silencer from the gun, and that sound, the silencer from the gun, when you hear a gun shot with a silencer, sort of stuck with me over the years. It's always the moment that I sort of associate with silencers and guns. I remember the ending. There's a great sort of showdown in the outback. They wind up in the Australian outback, and the drug dealers are trying to catch him and kill him. But that's a really good scene, the way that unfolds at the end. Sort of disguises and so on. Yeah, it's been ages since I've seen it. Crocodile Dundee II. Okay, up next, film that got remade recently, unfortunately, and that's Footloose from 1984. Of course, the classic, starring Kevin Bacon, Chris Penn, and the great John Lithgow. Of course, Kevin Bacon stars as a big city kid who moves out to a small town in the Midwest where rock and roll and dancing has been outlawed. Was not a fan of the remake from 2011. I thought it was terrible, to be honest. But Footloose, just a classic, great music, and sort of the film that launched Kevin Bacon to stardom. Okay, up next, a film I don't even remember watching as a kid, to be honest, but I've seen it quite a bit over the years. And that's Ghostbusters 2 from 1989. I really don't remember watching it when it came out, but it was on TV quite a lot 5 or 6 years ago on FX or something, and I'd sit down and watch it, and it's not too bad. I know it gets sort of a bad reputation because obviously it doesn't live up to the original classic. There's sort of a pink ooze flowing under the city of New York in the subway sewer system, whatever. I remember there's a sort of Carpathian warlord in a painting who wants to steal Dana, Sigourney Weaver's character's new baby. There's a great scene involving the Statue of Liberty. They sort of get it to move, and it's all moved by the sort of the support of New York, which has become very cynical and so on. Yeah, Ghostbusters 2, definitely not great, but it's an okay film. Okay, up next, a film I only just watched a couple years ago and really enjoyed it. I'm kind of bummed that they sent me this cover version. And that's Killer Clowns from Outer Space from 1988. I thought I ordered the Midnight Movies cover, but this is the one I got. Yeah, I watched this a couple of years ago. I don't remember it as a kid, but really loads of fun. Pretty simple story. Killer clowns come down from outer space in a circus tent and want to take over the world and start killing people. Very funny ways. All the different sort of toys and gadgets they use and the way they kill people. Yeah, just very cheesy, loads of fun. Yeah, just a cool film. Okay, up next, film I remember a lot from when I was a kid, but I don't remember much about it now, to be honest. And that's Little Shop of Horrors from 1986, directed by Frank Oz and starring Rick Moranis as well, who of course starred in Ghostbusters, both films. Yeah, I don't really remember anything about this film, to be honest. Steve Martin is the voice of the plant, Audrey too. Yeah, but I remember liking it a lot as a kid, but I haven't seen it since probably the late 80s. Okay, up next, we have what I think is the unofficial third film in the Conan the Barbarian series, and that is Red Sonja from 1985, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course, and Bridget Nielsen, who, like I said, starred in Cobra as well. This is the film that introduced her. Don't remember this film at all. I don't even remember if it's as good, or I don't think it is as good as Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer. So yeah, been ages since I've seen this one as well. Okay, another film I don't remember at all from my childhood. I don't remember even if I saw it, but I love the original, and that's Short Circuit 2 from 1988. Yeah, I love the original from 86. Number 5, a great iconic 80s character. Loved the original film, but I don't remember anything about Short Circuit 2. I couldn't tell you anything about this movie. Okay, up next, great movie from John Carpenter. Film I watched in college in a films about television class, interestingly enough. I'd seen it before that, but it's They Live from 1988. Of course, starring Rowdy Roddy Piper and Keith David. Aliens have sort of taken over the world, manipulating people, lulling them to submission with subliminal advertising and so on. Yeah, great one-liners by Rowdy Piper, who manages to pick up a pair of sunglasses that can see the aliens for what they really are, sort of skeletons underneath human faces. Yeah, cool film. I love the fight between him and Keith David when he's trying to get him to put on the sunglasses to see what's going on. That's a great fight. And of course it has the great line, I came here to do two things, chew bubblegum and kick some ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. They Live, classic John Carpenter film. Okay, last but not least, film from my childhood, which I haven't seen forever. And that's Young Sherlock Holmes from 1985. Directed by Barry Levinson, starring Nicholas Rowe and Alan Cox. This film really sort of freaked me out as a kid. I remember it being quite scary. Of course, it's about Sherlock Holmes and Watson, if they met as schoolboys in London. And all these sort of strange murders started to happen. People in cloaks blowing darts into people, and then they hallucinate their fears and sort of kill themselves accidentally or by committing suicide some way. Those scenes like really freak me out. I remember when the old guy sort of gets his lab catches on fire or something and he jumps out the window. That's a really pretty scary scene. There's a great shot of a knight that comes to life, a glass knight that comes to life in a church. But Beyond that, I don't remember much about it. It's been forever since I've seen it. All those Sherlock Holmes fans out there, and you know who you are if you're watching this. If you haven't seen this and don't love this film, definitely one you gotta check out. So that's Young Sherlock Holmes. So those are the 10 pickups this week. All great stuff from the 80s. Sort of movies I grew up on and films I hadn't seen forever. So as always, thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll see ya.
Bond. James Bond.